Most of us imagine hell as a realm of eternal fire, but in the most famous depiction of the underworld, the deepest pit of human damnation is a completely silent wasteland of solid ice. This icy abyss was the work of Dante Alighieri. Born in 1265, Dante lived through the collapse of the feudal order in Florence. When his political faction was overthrown, he was permanently exiled, forced to watch from the outside as his home was consumed by greed. Dante spent the rest of his life as a nomad, channeling his bitterness into the Divine Comedy, a work that would permanently redefine the Western imagination of the afterlife. The journey begins with Dante waking up lost in a dark wood. To find his way out, he must follow the Roman poet Virgil, a figure representing human reason, into the depths of the earth. This descent serves as an introduction to a meticulously engineered physical universe, where the architecture itself acts as a judge of human morality. Dante's hell is a massive downward funnel carved into the globe. As the circles narrow toward the center of the earth, the severity of the sins increases. Every layer is governed by Contrapasso, or poetic justice. In this universe, the punishment is the physical manifestation of the sin itself. In the second circle, those who surrendered to lust are battered by violent eternal winds. Because they allowed their desires to whirl out of control in life, they are now physically denied any stability for eternity. In the fourth circle, the hoarders and the spendthrifts are forced to endlessly push massive weights of gold against one another. They spend eternity in a futile physical clash, mirroring the way they obsessionally wrestled with wealth on earth. These souls are not randomly tortured by demons. They are forced to physically embody the toxic traits they refuse to let go of. At the very bottom of the funnel lies the ninth circle. Here, the heat of human passion is gone, replaced by a silent lake of ice called Cocytus. For Dante, God is the source of all light and warmth. This frozen pit is the point furthest from that source, leaving it entirely deprived of love. At the dead center of the lake is Lucifer. He is trapped waist-deep in the ice, unable to speak, endlessly chewing on history's most infamous traitors. The mechanism of his imprisonment is a tragic irony. Lucifer is constantly flapping his massive wings in a frantic attempt to fly away, but the wind generated by his wings is exactly what keeps the lake frozen, locking him in place. In the Inferno, sin is a self-feeding prison. Even the source of ultimate evil remains trapped by its own futile rebellion. To exit hell, Dante and Virgil must literally climb down the hairy body of the trapped demon. Halfway down, they pass the exact center of the earth. Gravity suddenly inverts, and the descent instantly becomes an upward climb. They emerge at the foot of Purgatory, a massive mountain where the geography flips from a downward spiral into an arduous upward climb. While the souls in hell are frozen in their denial, the inhabitants of this mountain are actively working. They undergo painful trials to purge themselves of the flaws that once pulled them downward. Human reason can only carry a person to the threshold of self-awareness. To reach the peak and enter paradise, Dante must eventually leave Virgil behind and surrender to a higher force, the grace represented by his lost love, Beatrice. Dante ascends through 9 concentric spheres of paradise, meeting historical saints and scholars who appear to reside at different levels of celestial merit. But as Dante reaches the highest point, he notices a strange paradox. The same souls he met in the lower spheres are actually present here in the highest heaven, all at once. He realizes the physical levels he just climbed were a divine construction, a piece of celestial scaffolding designed only so his limited mortal mind could navigate an otherwise incomprehensible infinite reality. He arrives at the Empyrean, a space outside of time and matter. Here he sees the divine not as a person, but as 3 perfectly synchronized rings of pure light. Dante's 700-year-old cosmology suggests that hell, purgatory, and paradise are present realities. Our lives are shaped by a constant choice. We can retreat into the isolation of our own egos, or begin the arduous climb toward the love that moves the stars.